We're here with Amy Hyatt, class of '78, and she is the diplomat in residence at Arizona State University, and she's here on campus for two presentations. She's going to be talking about the role of U.S. embassies overseas and talking about careers in foreign affairs. And looking back at your career, I'm sure there are many experiences in traveling all over the world. What are maybe the most one or two memorable experiences that you have?
Well, it's been a fabulous career, and one of the best things about the Foreign Service is that it's changing all the time. I've lived in 6 different countries overseas for a few years each country, learning foreign languages, traveling. It's a career that changes with you as you evolve. It changes. It's a career of constant learning, which I love about it. There have been so many stories, it's almost hard to pick, but I like to tell a story about the time I was assigned to go to North Korea, Pyongyang, which is the capital of North Korea, to go there and negotiate the potential opening of a U.S. presence in North Korea. And when I was there, it was the middle of winter and it was cold. And the North Korean economy has been hurting for a very long time, and it was certainly struggling then. And I remember I was in my hotel room one evening and I was working on looking over some materials because I was going to meet with the North Koreans the next day. And it was cold in my room, and my feet were cold, and I went to my closet looking for slippers, because in East Asian hotels there are often these disposable slippers. I thought it would help keep my feet warm, but there weren't any. So I said to myself out loud, where are those slippers they always have in East Asian hotels? When I was looking around. And about a minute later there was a knock on my door, and I went over to answer the door, and there was somebody there who was delivering me a pair of slippers miraculously. So I said to myself, isn't it amazing if they could just read my mind that I wanted slippers? Of course the room was bugged, and there were floor-to-ceiling windows throughout the room, and I knew that it wasn't just so I could see myself, it was so that they could be watching me the whole time. So it was really going into like a different dimension to be in North Korea in those days. It was really quite interesting. So that's one of the many challenges and opportunities I've had in this funny career. That's the Foreign Service.
Now, this is not actually where you had started out. From what I understand, you were a litigation attorney before going to foreign affairs.
That's right.
So what led you to change gears? Because it sounded like from looking at your background that you thought it was just going to be sort of a short stop along the way, and you didn't.
That's exactly right.
So long.
Like many people at Binghamton University, I decided to go to law school, and I did. I practiced law in San Francisco for about 4 years, and I liked practicing law. It's a great career, but I always thought, you know, wouldn't it be fun to go overseas? I'd been an exchange student, a Rotary exchange student, and I thought it'd be fun to go back overseas, maybe just one tour. If I could get in, I'd just stay one tour and then go back to my real life in San Francisco as a lawyer. And so I was to join the Foreign Service, and I was assigned to Korea. And I was assigned to Seoul at the time that Korea was going to get the Summer Olympics. So there I was in Korea during the Summer Olympics, and each morning some of the American corporations that had extra tickets to the Olympics would dump them at the embassy, you know, for any embassy employees. So every morning we'd come into work and we'd say, well, what Olympic event should I go to today? Should I go to diving or swimming or something? So it was a fabulous first tour. Plus Korea was in a time of transition, and it was really fun to watch that process from an authoritarian military dictatorship to democracy. So to be there, to have that excitement of the Olympics, but also this change in government. I thought to myself as my tour was ending, do I really want to go back to my regular life? Or maybe I'll see what I could get as a second tour. And I was offered the chance to go to Norway as my second tour. I said, you know what? I'm not going back, and I have never looked back. It's been a fabulous career. And every few years, you go to another location and get to live in another country. I've really loved it.
So I'd imagine that some of the comments you get from students or from anyone else that hears about what you do, that they'd say, wow, that sounds great, it sounds exciting, you get to travel all over the world, but it's a job like anything else.
That's
what
right.
are some of the hard realities of this job?
Well, for many people, the fact that it changes every few years is a problem. I like the challenge of change, but for some people it's not so exciting to have to reinvent yourself, uproot yourself every few years. Ship your things, and your family comes with you, of course, and all of that, making that adjustment to a new country, new culture. I find it exciting and challenging, but it also has its stresses. And the other thing is security. We represent the United States government, and as such, we can be targeted, not for who we are individually, but what we represent. And our security is very important to the State Department to ensure our security, but there are also risks wherever we serve. And so we are trained and we are guarded where it needs to be, that needs to be the case, but still we take a risk and our family members take risks, so that's an aspect of this career.
So one of the things that you plan to talk about while you're here is careers in foreign service, and I know students are the primary audience. So what are the prospects like in this field? Is this a good time to get in? Is this a bad time? What is it like for somebody looking to really strongly consider this as a career field?
Well, this is a perfect time because we are actually in a surge, a hiring surge. Unlike much of the private sector, we are in the part of the government that is surging now. I think most of the government, certainly the Obama administration as well as much of Congress, believes that we do not have enough diplomats. And one of the things that we normally cite is that in our government we have more military band members playing musical instruments than we have diplomats promoting our national security interests and our foreign policy overseas. So we definitely need more diplomats, and we are in a hiring surge. We normally hire between 300 and 350 diplomats. In the last few years, we're up to about 1,000 diplomats a year. And so we don't know how long the surge will go on, will continue, but right now it's a very good time to think about a foreign service career.
So how did Binghamton University prepare you for the career that you have now?
Well, I had wonderful professors when I was here. I was a political science and history dual major. And in the Foreign Service, we welcome all majors, so it's not like you have to be a poli-sci major to have a career in the Foreign Service. But I had some wonderful professors. Professor Edward Weisband was somebody who really impressed me. He's retired now. But there were a number of professors in the international field who really changed my life and changed my world perspective. And I always enjoyed foreign affairs as a result of the grounding I got here. So I look back on the years and the friendships I made here, but also the wonderful education I received.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.